Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the Cardano family. Let's take a look at what's happening with ADA as of October 18th. And what we could be expecting as we are obviously going further into the weekend. If you're looking across the board right now, we're seeing, as far as the 24-hour time frame is concerned, the broader market is actually up. Which again is something I'm sure no one's really complaining about. But a few handful of coins that are seeing a little bit of a minor pullback, but as a market as a whole, the broader market is still up right now. Now, Cardano price is 62.9 cents, so almost 63 cents right now. We're up about 0.2% on the USD side of things and up 0.2% on the Bitcoin side of things. Valuation 23 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume, some very interesting things happening here, sitting only at $500 million. And again, this is the beauty of doing regular day-to-day analysis, because for the longest time we've been noticing how the Cardano's volume has been keeping above a billion, and you can see that we actually have dropped below that right now. But we also need to factor in, we're in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual. CME futures are closed. People take a break. That is something we want to factor in. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So let's take a look at what's happening with the Bitcoin Dominance Index. You can see for yourself the Dominance Index was sitting at 59.97%. Obviously something we discussed yesterday with you guys. And you can see for yourself since then the dominance has dropped. Clearly, we have seen the dominance dropping. And we have seen the dominance try to break above the 59.54%, but again, we got rejected at that key range, so still ranging around the 59.5% mark. So again, this is the core reason why we are still seeing a lot of green across the board, as I've stated to you, because Bitcoin still, once again, if you're looking at Bitcoin is not exactly where you need Bitcoin to be. It's still ranging around just below $107,000. You can see, it's trying to break above the $107,000 key resistance, but it's having a hard time doing so. And this should really give you a better understanding that, Bitcoin right now is showing weakness, believe it or not. Because we're still not in the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level, and time out over the last 2 days since we broke below the 23.6, I've been stating that we need to be focusing on some of these key levels. We need to be looking for confirmations, and right now the price of Bitcoin is nowhere near as to where it needs to be. And the fact that it's not even able to break above $107,000 is something we want to be watching very, very carefully. Yes, the dominance is down, but again, not out of the woods just yet. But let's take a look at what's happening with ADA right now and what we could be expecting. So Cardano's price, from yesterday, you can see, we came down to 59.23% when the dominance, went up to the likes of 60%. The price of Cardano dropped down to 59.2%. But since then, Cardano did go up 8%. So like I said, all credit goes to the Bitcoin Dominance Index right now, for the reason why Cardano, along with a lot of other altcoins, are moving solely today. Bitcoin is not, the reason why you're seeing some of these altcoins bouncing. So I like what we're seeing, obviously, over the last 24 hours, the 8% gain for Cardano. I'm sure no one's really complaining. But again, you really want to see the price of Cardano pushing back into the 78.6 fib zone. If you want to put that into perspective right now, that itself is a move of about, let's actually pull up this. So we're looking at about a 10% move from where we currently are. So right now, you want to be paying very close attention to Bitcoin mainly, because if Bitcoin continues to see a rejection around the 107, I do personally believe we could push back down to some of these levels we retested just a few days back. So again, like we said in our previous update, target for that would be 56.9%, and I still think that's on the table. And today's big key takeaway is how the 24-hour trading volume has dropped below a billion. But again, we're going to take it one step at a time in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, we're not too far off from the 78.6, but we need to look at some of the other key factors. Love each and every one of you guys. Thanks for the support. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.